All right, Panther fans. So the beat continues. I like this team. So I'm just going to jump right into the whole thing here. Um, the game. Yeah, okay, beautiful. We get the 6-3 win. Um, but I like the roster, but the trade deadline's coming. But I like I'm torn, man. I wouldn't want to be in Bill Zito's shoes right now because there's only one thing he could do right now, and that's screw things up.
I think they asked Randy last night about that. I mean, or maybe it was Chikrin and Randy. Can you win with this roster? Yes, we can win the cup with this roster.
Yeah.
I like this limbo.
I know. Although, it's not optimal to kill the guys we're trying to get to convince to come here. You didn't have to kill Claude Giroux, man. I look over it. I mean, Claude Giroux was face down on the ice, like squirming like a worm. And we didn't know who it was. And Randy was like, yeah, that was Giroux. And I was like, shit.
Yeah, I mean, if they do anything, it's going to be for a forward.
Yeah.
I think that they found this kid. And again, what did I say? It's going to be somebody we never heard of.
Yeah.
Forget Chikrin, forget Klingberg, forget all of those guys.
Yeah.
He's going to find another Forsling.
Yeah, and look, teams don't know him, right? So it's like when Gudis is on the ice, to keep your head up. You know what I mean? But this kid just comes out of nowhere, and I felt bad for the one guy. I mean, it was a perfect tip check. It was a good foot or two away from the boards. He wasn't trying to put him into the boards. He just fell awkwardly, and it was unfortunate. But
he impressed me a lot more than Carlson did his first outing. He didn't look nervous. He looked like fine.
Yeah.
I hope they'll play him more, and let's see if he's consistent. And now we have our 6D.
Yeah.
With Carlson as a backup.
Right. Yeah. It's hard to argue to make a deal, to make any moves on defense. And then we're getting all this extra scoring, right? Guys are just scoring in bunches. So the point there is Mammon has been up top. He looks good. He's not scoring, but the way he shields the puck and is holding the puck. I mean, I'm not saying he's Yager, but it's like he's playing that Yager-esque role on that line with Barkov, and all of a sudden Verhaeghe's exploding. When Mammon comes down and gets the puck in the offensive zone, it is hard to get the puck away from him. He's a big dude, and he knows how to use his body. And this is without Lomberg and Lundell. And that's the point. We're liking the team on the ice right now, and that's without Lomberg and Lundell.
Yeah, again, the more and more I'm thinking about it, I said we don't have to make a move.
No, we don't.
Only if the right player and the right deal's there. I'm afraid of the chemistry,
Yeah.
Everything seems to be gelling pretty good. I'd hate to see somebody come in and mess it up,
Right.
That's
And
the chance you take.
Yeah, no.
Anyway, 4-0 first period.
Yeah.
Rolling. Second period, typical, let your foot off the gas. Why don't we let them back in the game? Uyghur, of course, mistakes. Ekblad. I mean, I don't know. I really don't understand why Uyghur just doesn't learn to, when he's got a guy on him, instead of trying to stick handle, stop and start and make, Johnny Gaudreau moves, that he does just bang it off the boards and get it out of the zone. And 2 of those goals were scored because we couldn't get it out of the zone.
Right. Yeah, and that's a problem we had.
And then, of course, Mr. Verhaeghe takes a, dumbass penalty at the end of the period. So kind of negates him scoring 2 goals.
Well, look, I said it after the first period, I didn't like our play. And I knew we had the 4-0, but Philadelphia was getting a ton of chances on Bobrovsky in that first period. He made a lot of good saves. And you just can't keep. Eventually, those are going to start going in. And once the first one went in, gave him a little bit of life, and we did not really respond. And then that late one, the third one, that was just bad hockey. It was just bad hockey. But we clamped down. Not every game is going to be. I even said at the end of the first period, I said, I know we're getting greedy, but let's do the 10 tonight. I was adding it up already. It's like, well, if we get another 4 in the second, then maybe we'll be good for 10. But this time of year, teams are not going to just completely lay down the way some of those other teams were earlier in the season. You got guys fighting for jobs and contracts and stuff like that now. But yeah, I mean, overall, I've been certain, I've had a couple of people reaching out to me this morning. They wanted us to talk about that, where it's just like, I mean, Giroux didn't look, there's nothing I saw Claude Giroux do last night that made me go, ooh, let's get him. And, Vetrano, again, he's not scoring, but if Ryan Lomberg gets hurt, Vetrano's doing a decent job out there of having high energy. He's not taking the stupid penalties, So, I mean, if you look at Vetrano as depth for that fourth line and possibly having to be in the third line, I mean, what are you going to do? And Tippett's not even up. Tippett's in the AHL. So I mean, we could make moves. The Tippett thing, the only reason now at this point to move Tippett and Vetrano is you don't want to, quote, lose them for nothing. But I don't know, man. It to get any of the highest, to get a player of a caliber that would be worth making a deal, what we're going to have to give up, I don't see it, because we don't need the guy, right? I mean, Verhaeghe is scoring, Duclair is scoring. This power play now is ridiculous, because they've made the changes. They finally listened to us. They made the 2 changes we've been suggesting all year. And now the damn power play. Somebody on the stream said yesterday, we got the best power play in the NHL since January.
It's true.
Yeah.
We're hovering around 29%.
Yeah. It's ridiculous. So
I think we've had 12 power play goals in the last 6 games.
Jeez. And 4 of those are Duke. Yeah.
That's it. We had 3 last night. We had 2 the night before.
Yeah, I know. And
listen, it's I've been thinking about this all morning and what to say to everybody, but I don't know. I mean, when I said to you last night, this Lindbaum guy, that was an area where I thought maybe we could use some tightening up. Right. I mean, we still got the Ekblad Uyghur thing to deal with, and I don't know. We'll just have to deal with it. But, but this kid, if he brings in some of that Gudis grit, then we got, second and third pair. I'm happy with that. If you ask me right now, as I'm sitting here with you, I say don't make any moves.
Yeah, no,
that's what I say.
Yeah,
don't make any moves.
I would have to agree with you. Yeah, I'd have to agree with you. I mean, and I know that that sounds different than what we've been saying, but the fixing of the power play really kind of changed that need for, we needed somebody, and we've been saying it all year. We need somebody to come up on that top line and take that spot. And then the last 2 guys with, when Marchment was up there before Lundell got hurt, he looked good. And now Mammon looks good up there. I don't know what the hell we're going to do. We already got too many guys as it is, because when Lomberg and Lundell come back, somebody's got to sit. Then I guess it's going to be Vetrano. It's either going to be Vetrano or Mammon. So when you talk about that being your depth guys, and you could bring Tippett back up if you're adding space to the playoff roster, so you've got another experience. Well, I mean, if you have to fill the space somewhere, you know what I mean? Unless we're going to go in with 3 goalies, you got to figure at some point we're going to drop Johansson, and I mean, you're not going to bring up a Denisenko or Heponiemi over Tippett for the playoff roster. That wouldn't make any sense.
I wouldn't think so.
No, other than that, I mean, unless we can pick up some, Connaughton type grizzled veteran for, 7-8 D. So we've got that 1 extra, because we got, even if you count Lindbaum, you got 6, you got 7 D with Carlson flipping back and forth. 8 D right now is either Nunavara, Kiersted.
Get that name.
Well, yeah, but I
Get
mean,
that name.
we
He's
could-
only on our roster for the
yeah, but just like they did with Kucherov last year.
never gonna play a game for us. Nunavara is done, toast.
All right, all right. I'll grant you that.
From
Well, the
George.
point in them being is what we have at 8D is basically you and me. we're 8D.
No, listen, I'm worried. I'm not worried, but this is gonna be a tough road trip for them.
Yeah, absolutely. So I mean, the late game's number one, and then they got that break, and then they got to go back up. The break could kind of be nice because we talked about that. They're probably going to fly home, right? So they'll fly home and get 4 days off in the sunshine. So, I mean, it's as if it's we get a home stand in the middle there. We just don't have to play, so that might help. According to Coach yesterday, most likely you're going to see Lundell on the trip, on the first leg of the trip. So that means he's starting to feel better. I haven't heard anything about Lombard. And yeah, man.
Lumbar's a concussion.
Right.
It's going to be in it's like Marchman. It's going to be a few weeks.
Right. Yeah.
I don't expect him back, and they're not going to rush him back. There's no need as long as we're playing okay.
Right. Yeah. There's no need to rush him back. And other than that, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say it's like we can talk about it for an hour. It's not going to change the situation. All I know is Colorado got beat last night. Oh no, yeah, Colorado Hurricanes beat them. So Colorado's got 87 points. We have 85. Carolina has 85.
Okay.
So we're really fighting for the East. The Carolina.
Right.
And then in Calgary beat Tampa last night.
Jeez, that's 2 in a row.
They beat him handily. Giroux, Johnny Gaudreau. He got the hat trick. His first 2 goals. You got to watch the replay, guys.
Okay.
He's behind the net, and he bangs the first one off Vasilevsky's butt. That's the only play that he has.
Oh man.
Then the next goal, he does it again.
No way.
I've seen it once, but I've never seen it like twice in a row.
Oh my God. Yeah, I gotta
watch. He didn't hit it off his butt. He hit it off his back or something.
Yeah.
Oh, he was turned. But Vasilevsky did not look.
Yeah,
he did not look happy after that. But yeah, so Tampa still got a game in hand, but we're 5 points ahead of them.
Yeah. We've got our lead back there, so that should be that's also on the subject of all we can do now is screw this up. But we got this road trip, and like we talked about, a lot of those teams are fighting, dog fighting for playoff spots and positioning. So it's not going to be an easy trip no matter what. But look, it was good to see them clamp down in the third period last night because Philadelphia came out in the third. They came out with energy, and there was a few minutes there. I was a little bit concerned. I was a little bit concerned that they were going to tie it. Really only because I had predicted 6-5 Panthers in overtime, and it was starting to, after the third period, it was starting to look like that might happen, But so now we're 30-0 when we take the lead to the third period.
Pretty insane.
That's crazy.
And we're 26-6.
Yeah.
At home.
That's
sick.
Yep. No.
So Johnny Boy gets 4 assists.
Yeah.
Of course, he does the Barkov at the end. Dishing off to of course you're gonna get Reinhardt's hat trick.
Yeah.
So now Huberdeau's in first for the scoring.
Right.
Ekblad got 4 assists.
Yep.
That's pretty good. That helps him with the Norris. Not that these guys are winning these trophies. I mean, obviously, if Huberdeau finishes first, he wins the Art Ross.
Right.
He's not winning the MVP.
Nah.
Even though he should. They made a good case for Shesterkin. And because it's the most valuable player to your team.
Right.
They said without Shesterkin, the Rangers would be like,
they wouldn't
even be in the playoffs.
Right.
So we'll see how that shakes out, but Reinhardt bat, takes
Yeah.
another
He takes
hand-eye
it.
coordination
Yeah.
goal. I love those. And then Atkinson scored one too like that.
Yeah.
Guys are so talented, man. They're just so good.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah.
Anyway, I don't know what else to say.
Yeah.
I mean,
No, I
I'm
know.
half asleep. I'm half
Yeah.
asleep today.
Yeah. We'll keep this one short. That's okay. We've got no hockey for a couple of days. I got a couple of things coming up, but it was good to get the one game in at home. I know you didn't like the way that the schedule was laid out, but I think them able to, otherwise then it would have been, let me see, it would have been the 1, 2, 3, it would have been a 10-game road trip. That's
Panthers have the worst travel because they're the most southern, they're the
yeah,
team most south in the country.
yeah.
But it doesn't matter. We've come back nice after, losing 3 in a row.
Oh, I wanted to ask you one thing. The Spencer Knight got lit up in the AHL the other night, 6 goals, and they pulled him. And I said to Steve when he told me about it, I said, maybe the kid flying 4 times a week's not the best. Maybe the best plan of action isn't, okay, play a game in the AHL, fly in, play in the NHL, fly out, play in the AHL. I mean, maybe at some point, just bring him up and leave him. We could say, oh, he's young and this, that, and the other thing, but yeah, he was doing really well in the AHL. He came in the NHL. Obviously, he had a really good game, almost got the shutout, and then flies back and I guess it's basically we had one day off to fly, and then the next night he's getting pelted for 6. That speaks to me he didn't suddenly just start sucking. You know what I mean? So that seems to me to be maybe he's kind of the act is worn thin with him a little bit. So they bring
I
him
don't
up.
know. I mean, I fully expect him to be on this road trip.
Yeah. Well, I think enough is enough. I guess that's the point I'm making is bring him up. What do we got? 26 games left, right?
Less.
Yeah, 26, 25, whatever
I
it is.
agree.
Yeah,
I
bring him up.
agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
All right, guys. That'll geez. I'm smoking Stu's cigar smoke is making me cough. Can't stop. All right, guys. We really appreciate it. Make sure you hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell. We had 5 new subscribers last night, so we're really, really close to 1,500. I'm going to start pumping out a lot more content now as playoffs are coming through, so we can get to 2,000 before the playoffs start. And that is it. Stu and I are going to pretend like we're going back to bed, but we can't because we're old and we have to work. So we'll see y'all later.
All right, buddy.